Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Chief Johnny Jennings and also Mayor Vi Lyles talk about the details of what unfolded today, way worse than what we have known. And we understand now that 8 law enforcement officers have been shot, 3 US Marshals are dead, 1 also shot there, and then 4 CMPD officers have been shot, one of them in critical condition right now, that unfolded at this house on a fugitive warrant that was being served by US Marshals at 1:30 this afternoon.
Yeah, and we actually got a little bit more information on the timeline that happened from Chief Johnny Jennings. So like you mentioned, they were serving that warrant around 1:30, and when those marshals approached the door, they were met with gunfire from a suspect. Officers returned fire, and we're learning they shot that suspect dead right in the front yard. And then they continued to take gunfire, Johnny Jennings said, even after they had set up a perimeter, and that is why we had this long standoff situation. They believe that there were 2 shooters total, a high-powered rifle involved at one point. They were able to make contact with 2 other people inside that home who are now undergoing questioning, 1 female and 1 juvenile inside the house. They're trying to decide, or they're trying to see who else they were taking gunfire from, who was inside that house. But 3 people total involved in that.
Yeah, and just an incredible situation. Alicia unfolded. You're talking about how this is, you never know what's going to happen when you leave the house. It was an incredibly tragic day for the city of Charlotte, and you have 4 of them right now that are in the hospital. 1 is in critical, and 3 families that are being notified that their loved one is not going to be coming home tonight.
And you could see visually, and you could be able to hear the emotion from Mayor Vi Lyles. And I think for all of us, I mean, this is our jobs to cover the news, but my heart is beating so heavy right now when you think of 8 people who were injured, 4 people, US Marshals, who lost their lives, 4 CMPD officers. 1, they said, is right now fighting for his life tonight, you know, really allowing us to be able to kind of take this in and to be able to talk about this. The quote that Johnny Jennings, Chief of Police, gave, he said, when we put on this uniform, we don't have any guarantees we will return home. And I think that said it best in terms of what they give. Mayor Vi Lyles even commenting, saying, hey, what the community can do right now is just give their support.
And when we're getting that support, Chief Johnny Jennings talking about his conversation with Governor Roy Cooper, who we've seen tweets from, but he said, hey, whatever you need, we're here to help you. And that's evident. We see flags at half staff in Uptown already, flowers being outside the marshal's office. Just a really sad day in Charlotte. Yeah, and you understand a little bit more. He gave us some information about who they were serving this warrant on. We don't know the exact identity yet, but what they understand is that the marshals were serving a warrant on a person who is a convicted felon who had a firearm. That's incredibly dangerous to go up to the door like that to try to serve a warrant on somebody like that. And I think he was talking about how many people they had involved, and they had no idea that this, I guess you just never know what's going to happen, and how gunfire just rang out. As you were mentioning here, Annie, 2 people were also in the house. 1 of those persons opened fire. Whether it was the woman, that's who they believe. They don't believe is the juvenile, but they are questioning both of those people right now. So 1 of them is a suspect, is in custody right now, and the shooter dead in the front lawn, shot dead by the U.S. Marshals and CMPD. Right, and you also have to realize too, when you're covering a case on this magnitude, I mean, Johnny Jennings said that he's been on the force now for 32 years and has never seen anything like this. He specifically said protecting the integrity of the case is very important. So that's why some of these details we're not learning at this moment. But just, Brian, as you pointed out, to be able to have a juvenile who's 17 years old and a female inside, he made very clear they were part of the situation. So there was some question as to, you know, could they have been hostages? Could they have been at the wrong place, the wrong time? They were definitely very involved in this scene, and that is why there's going to be so much questioning tonight. He also let us know in terms of, again, 8 officers in total were injured. 4 U.S. Marshals, 4 U.S. Marshals are now dead, and I'm sorry, 3 dead. Yeah, 3 U.S. Marshals are now dead. 1 of the U.S. Marshals is injured, and then there's 4 CMPD officers that are all injured, and 1 of those CMPD officers made it very clear is fighting for his life at this time. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and the last time that some CMPD officers were shot and killed was 2007 was Sean Clark and Jeffrey Shelton over in East Charlotte at an apartment complex, a senseless act where one of them was executed. Don't know really the identities of these families for the U.S. Marshals. And certainly they're in the process, as Chief Johnny Jennings was saying, notifying them. But a very, very hairy situation that unfolded today, and certainly that investigation is going to last well into the rest of this week.
Right, and as we're learning to be able to find out the faces as to who lost their lives today, Mayor Vi Lyles said, remember, this is your father, your husband, your friend, your neighbor, really painting the picture as to who isn't coming home tonight.